Let me see how many people are going to get in here. I have a treat for you. Hopefully, you're ready for it. Hopefully, you can handle it. I'm back from my trip. So I could finally go live. But y'all won't believe what I came across. And no one is talking about it. No one is talking about it. You know, God work in mysterious ways because I be minding my business. I promise you, I be minding my business and then boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why ain't nobody else talking about this? It just boop, pop up on my news feed. And I'm like, why ain't nobody talking about this? This is a mess. And then I start to do, a little digging. And then I come on here and I have to talk about it because it's like, why ain't nobody else talking about it? So, girl, you won't believe what I stumbled upon. Let me just get into my intro and then I'll be back. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I feel refreshed. Thank you. Okay. So y'all know how Miss Danae, she made that weird post, right? And a lot of people were like, what? Like, why is she making this post? Like, it's so out there and it's so like out of the blue. Well, not really. Because this video popped up in my news feed. Let me show you. Let me show you. Hold on, wait a minute. You will not believe this. And girl, let me pull it up. Okay.
That you put your all into.
Now, wait a minute. Now, if you go to Derrick Jaxn's YouTube channel, I'm not subscribed to it. But this video popped up in my news feed, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. First of all, this man's still uploading videos. He's still making content. Guess what he titled this? Guess what he titled this video? Just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. Let me unshare. Or you know what? Is it this one? Yeah. Oh, do y'all see that? Why he treats his new girl better. Now, I was looking into this and I'm like, when did he post this? He posted this 2 days ago. Danae made her post 3 days ago. So he posted this video the day after Danae posted her like scripted message. So he's still doing the same stuff that he been doing with her. So he's still playing the manipulation, mind games through social media, getting messages out to her, taunting her, right? Because people think I'm picking Derrick. Are you out of your mind? Listen, I need people to understand that I can have multiple opinions on one topic. Multiple. I don't pick sides. Like this, I don't know these people to pick a side. Like that's just stupid. When you don't know people and you weren't a witness, it's dumb for you to choose a side. Like it just doesn't even make sense because you weren't there. You didn't witness anything. How can you choose sides? How? You can't, right? So I'm thinking to myself, so this man is still playing the same game because we're all sitting up here like, why would Danae make a post like that? Right? So he doing some things behind the scenes so that is taunting her, provoking her to create those posts. And this is why I say things like, ladies, if you're dealing with an abusive ex, like he's a manipulator, right? Go no contact. You don't need to be watching their social media. You don't need to be keeping up with them, keeping up with the new girl. Like, don't do none of that. None of that. Because if she's stalking, which we are aware that Danae is most likely stalking this new girl, Pinky, that's her name, which we're going to get into, it could easily set her off. And so to further poke at her, he made this video. So I'm just like, so yeah, it's sick, y'all. I can't believe that he still has a following and women still support this. Like, this is insane. So let me give you the background because we got to go back before we can go forward. Y'all know how I am. Just in case people are tuning in for the first time, I want you to know the beginning. So we got to go back to what Danae did. And see, there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't see. So I don't know what he did that made her feel like she needed to make that post, but he had to have done something, or she may have saw something that made her feel the need to make that post. So let's do this.
Y'all, I'm gonna have to say, when I'm right, I'm motherfucking right. And remember, I was telling y'all that Danae ain't a bit healed. It went down over on Instagram earlier. So Miss Danae is feeling herself. This is a beautiful photo shoot. I ain't gonna cap. And apparently she is in competition with Derrick Jaxn's girlfriend. She had this cryptic message to say, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Tag Pinky Love. I'm trying to preach something. Turn to 1 Samuel chapter 30. When David, Danae's wife's husband, I'm not about to read all of this cryptic, were captured by the Amalekites, Danae had a moment of great distress. Then she went to the Lord and said, Lord, shall I pursue the raiding Pinky Love party? Will I overtake them? Pursue them, he answered. You will certainly overtake them and succeed in the rescue. Big God trumps little God. Gots to be more careful. So now word got back to Pinky.
Y'all, what she mean by that? What is that big God, little God? You know, I only believe in one God. I'm confused about that. What is big God, little God? Like, what Christianity is that? I've never met that type of Christianity. What is little God, big God? Can someone please seriously explain that to me? Because I'm just like, big God trumps little God. I thought there was only one God we serve. You know, when I was in the church, there was only one God we served. You know? So that one kind of really threw me off. And that's what a lot of Christians are unaware of. There are Christian witches out here, y'all. You know what I mean? There are Christian witches out here. Not every Christian practice Christianity the same way. So a lot of y'all being misled with that. But I ain't never in the Christianity that I grew up in, which was Baptist. I gotta say it like that. We only serve one God. That's the only God we serve. So I'm a little confused about that. I was confused. You know, I grew up Baptist. I know everybody don't grow up Baptist, but that's how I grew. I grew up Baptist Christian. I don't consider myself to be religious. I have to put that out there. I don't consider myself to be religious. I believe in God. Yes, I do. But I'm not religious because I don't even want to get into all of that. because that's a long-winded conversation. But when I was in the church, Baptist, I have to say that we only served one God. So I'm really confused about that. That was weird to me. And then she keep doing these weird messages, and I'm just like, what Christianity is she practicing? Because it's not making sense. Okay, so big God trumps little God, girl. I'm like, so there's multiple gods? Is that what she's saying?
Love, of course, since Danae's over there going off on post after post, telling people to tag her. And she responded underneath this saying, as a woman, I know healing isn't easy, but being in this one-way competition with me isn't going to help. I didn't meet or even talk to your estranged ex until months after he filed for divorce. But you're still on social media bullying and harassing me every chance you get. I didn't steal anything from you, and even if I did, your anger would be displaced. Remember what I'm telling y'all about that misplaced anger them wives be having when their husbands go off to cheating. That marriage was between y'all, and same goes for your divorce. Tagging me isn't going to bring him back to you. Damn, that hurt. That one hurt. Your pictures are beautiful, but your spirit isn't. This religious-themed smear campaign isn't fooling anyone. It's certainly not fooling me. Get some help and maybe better friends who will keep it real with you that this isn't a good look, sweetie. If you're really healing, the only thing on your mind should be your beautiful children and your walk with God, not me. P.S. to anyone else who may be seeking a relationship with God, don't let this discourage you. Real Christians don't act like. Now, of course, y'all know.
Now, y'all, why she got more sense? Why she got more sense? I'm concerned with that. Why she got more sense in the situation? And I also need to say this too. She's the mistress, but we don't know how she became that, right? Like, we don't know. I didn't do the whole follow-up with, because apparently Pinky was taunting her at one point, like bullying her, doing weird stuff on social media. Now Danae is doing it. And you know what? If Derrick is truly a narcissist, that's what they like. They like it when women are fighting over them. And if we go back to the interview, right? That's what Danae does. Like, she likes that. She likes when she fights and goes like all outside of her character to defend what she thinks is hers. You know what I mean? Well, technically, legally, it is hers, right? But he likes that. Like, it like feeds his ego. Ladies, please understand that when you are in a situation, you're in a love triangle, and this man has put you, the man put you in the love triangle, not the other woman, the man put you in the love triangle, right? He did it because he likes it. He likes how his ego is fed. He likes how women are like fighting over him. It makes him feel like a king because he's like, oh my God, I got all these women fighting over me. They want to be with me. They want to sleep with me. They want to have my babies. They want to do this. They want to do all of these things for me. They want to perform for me. I'm a king. That's what you're doing. You feeding that man's ego when you do that. That's why it's just best for you to collect your pride, your dignity, and just move on. But he likes that. And she has a history of doing that. So he has a history of women competing for him. So this is just another cycle. She's in another cycle, basically doing the same thing. And he's also creating content by using this personal situation that he's going through right now. He's still creating content and getting the information that he needs, the inspiration that he needs to create his content. This is a mess. So I guess Pinky was in the comment section and she had this to say in the comment section. But ladies, I'm gonna tell you now, if a man got you in a triangle, he playing you both. You, her, whoever she is, he's playing you both. And he likes it. Like, he likes how y'all fight and go at each other. Like, he likes it. He's like, oh my gosh, like, I can bring these emotions out of these women. They must really care about me. It's just manipulation.
I'm always mind my business and scroll the comment section, right? And I found these comments interesting. I'm very supportive of her journey, except when she attacks other women. Now, this statement I totally agree with and is why I didn't engage with the picture, although she was stunning in it. Her journey has nothing to do with me. She needs help at this point. Now, it cut off at the top, but it was a comment left on this post. I'm going to post it here. It was something about she's doing all this for a liar or some crap. So official Pinky Love responds and says, I can't wait for the truth to come out for real because this hate or dislike for Derrick would change. That's all I'm going to say on that note. But now,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for one sec. I'm sorry. It's always a man who has a crazy ex. Oh, I don't know why she like that. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm innocent in the situation. That's a red flag to me. And if Pinky is really sitting up there believing that, come on now. Like if you meet a man and he talking about how his ex is crazy, that's an immediate red flag. This an immediate red flag because you got to think about it for a sec. When you met the woman, you found her to be likable enough to be in a relationship with her. So what happened from day one to the end of the relationship that made her all of a sudden crazy? I'm looking at it like it's a red flag. I would never come at me with that because if you come at me with that, I'm looking at your ass like, what did you do? Because they love playing that card. They do. They love playing that. Oh, I'm innocent in the situation. You didn't do nothing. That's hard to believe. I don't believe that one sec.
y'all remember when I said, how does she call herself being a coach to healing anything when she's still very much under the male gaze and male identified herself? She does not fuck with women. I keep telling y'all that. She does not like women. And she's over here on the Instagram today, arguing and competing with his girlfriend side chick since they are still married, right?
That's a mess.
And engaging in this one-sided beef and competition with this other girl, which doesn't seem to be engaging back with her at all. So wouldn't that still be the same thing as her obsessing and doing exactly what she told us in that interview she was doing? Y'all let me know what you think of this update.
Okay, so that's the update, and I'm gonna update you further. So let's go back to the video that Derrick Jaxn made. And he's still on the same game. He's still doing the same game that he's been doing. That's why I'm just like, I don't know if this is a scam. I don't know what any of this is, but I don't trust none of these people in this situation. The wife, Derrick, and the new girlfriend. I don't trust none of them. None of them. I don't trust none of them. They all look suspicious to me. Let's go back. Because it's just like, y'all could, like, think about it. Why not handle this stuff off social media? And then, Derrick, why are you making content like this titled, Why He Treats His New Girl Better? Oh, wait, let's get into what he's talking about in this video, ladies, shall we? Shall we get into this? Because just like she made that weird message, he made this weird message. Listen, when I got halfway through, I said, this man is sick. This man is sick. These people are sick. I'm so serious. Look.
You gave him everything. You gave him the best of you. Why did he hurt you or just neglect you or come up short with you, but then move on? And now he's this knight in white shining armor. He's giving her the sun, moon, and stars. He's doing all of these things for this new girl and doing it in a shorter amount of time than what you were willing to wait and what you had already waited for him to come around to doing what you asked him to do. But now he's doing twice, like everything you asked that man to do, he's doing for his next girl. Why is it that men do this? So let me first kind of give you the backstory. I was on a Self-Crown VIP live chat recently. That's where I answer all of these types of questions. And I got that question from a woman. And the first thing she said was, D, I know I'm not supposed to be looking back and caring about my ex and da-da-da-da-da. Let me say this. For those of y'all who have this question,
that's interesting, Derrick. Don't you think, ladies? Don't you think it's interesting how all of a sudden he had a woman come to him about this? Or is it something that he's actually experiencing in his personal life? So he's about to give us the details on his side of things. Because, the interesting thing about Derrick is he hasn't said anything, but he made this video, though. Manipulators. This is insane. This is what a manipulator is, ladies. Textbook manipulator. Take notes. That's why we making this video. Take notes. Because what? And then he's sending this message to Danae. Like he wants her to see this. So let's see what he has to say.
Maybe it's not such a bad thing that you're thinking about this, because it says to me that you're trying to be accountable, you're trying to learn. The only way you can not repeat mistakes of the past is to really reverse engineer those mistakes of the past, those events that happen, and see, were you the problem? So if you get out of a relationship and that man that you were asking for so much from gives it all to the next woman, you may say, was I the problem? Did I miss something? Did I give up too soon? So I'm going to give y'all a couple of reasons why a guy will move on from a relationship with you where he came up short or didn't do what he's supposed to be doing and move into a new one and give that woman everything he acted like he didn't even know that you needed from him or he wasn't capable of. The first one, I'll start from good to bad. None of it's really good, but I guess not as bad to really bad. The first.
So he knew what she needed, but pretended like he didn't know. Is that what he's saying? Got it.
Reason why. It's what everybody says, cliche. I'm not going to stay on this long, but personalities clash. Y'all weren't right for each other. Y'all brought the worst out of each other, right? Not going to stay on that because I think we all understand that. But let's go deeper.
They brought the worst out of each other. That's what he just said. He giving us all the details on his relationship. Let's continue.
The reason why a man will do that is because the seasons are incompatible. And this is something I can personally relate to, but I think it's really naive to think over 60 years.
He can personally relate to this. Interesting.
Years of happily ever after that we're all kind of aiming for in our relationship, that you're never going to have a season where you're not the lesser version of yourself. And the same thing goes for your spouse. So sometimes you can come in on a man's life and he's in that season where he's the lesser version of himself. He don't have it all figured out. He's stressed out. He's fresh off of grieving somebody. He's immature, whatever it may be. So he's in this season where he's
fresh off grieving someone. Didn't he lose his father? Didn't he lose his father?
Not ripe. He's not a bad person, but he's not ripe. He really wasn't ready for the type of relationship that you're looking for, that you're capable of. So you're asking him to do these things, but it's out of season for him. Not that you should have stayed, but that's the reason why he'll go on to somebody else in a later season. And now he's actually ripe. Now he gets it. Now his maturity is there. Now his insecurities aren't there. Now his confidence is there. Now his whatever. His priorities have shifted. Now the bad friends who are influencing him are not there. Not that mama that was all in his decision making. That's not there. Whatever the case may be.
His mama was in his decision making. So that's why you married her. Because she was pregnant and your mama was in your ear like, so you're not going to marry her? You're supposed to be a Christian man. You're not going to marry her. You're not going to do right by her. I got a lot from this video. Did y'all miss this? I'm like really shocked right now. I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? This is insane. So his mama was in his ear. That's why he ended up marrying her when he knew he did not want to.
Maybe he's in a different season. So sometimes it's just a season incompatibility. It's not that you did something wrong or what have you. Another reason why, and this is something I never hear a lot of people talk about anyway. I never hear anybody talk about. Sometimes your love was his crutch. Sometimes, and I know it sounds victim blaming, but sometimes it was your love, your nurturing, your safe space that you created for that man that was further coddling him from becoming the man that God has called him to be.
He blaming her, y'all. He blaming her. 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 He is blaming her. This is a mess. This is a mess. I told y'all. That's why I was like, listen, he is a manipulator. And you know what else that I'm getting from this? He's manipulating two women with this video. Danae and the new girl. Oh, I'm in a better season with my life. I'm more confident. I don't have my mom in my ear. I'm not really coming off of grieving my father. So I'm going to be a better man to you, regardless of what the internet and the world thinks about me. So he's manipulating Pinky. And then he's also still manipulating Danae. Like, we just brought the worst out of each other. We just weren't meant to be. It just wasn't our season. But it's still your fault because ladies, I hope y'all don't support this man. Like, he is a through and through abuser. Seriously. Okay. Now, I know we've been talking about Danae. She got her issues. But this man is sick. Like, he will just straight up manipulate you with a straight face, no remorse. He know this woman is not in her right frame of mind, but you still taunting her with these videos, and that's the thing, is he's telling me that throughout the duration of their entire relationship, he manipulated her with his content. The videos that he would make, he manipulated her with that. You can't tell me otherwise. This is insane. Yes, he is so serious. Look how serious he is. Look at this face. He's serious.
So for men, we learn through loss. We learn through pain. It's never comfortable, right? But sometimes that's how God teaches us and grooms us and fixes us and redirects and corrects our path, is by letting us feel the consequences of how we're currently moving and operating.
And then one thing about these two individuals, they love bringing God into their toxicity. God is not behind any of this. And y'all need to stop using God as a crutch like this. This is sick. Come on now. God is not for all of this foolishness, this back and forth, this social media beef that y'all got going on, this, oh, she did this, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put this message out here to get it to. This is weird. This is weird. And it's almost like the reason why it's like Derrick and Danae are not that different. And if you pay attention, they do the same thing in similar ways. So they need the validation. Danae needs the validation. Derrick needs the validation. They both need to feel like they're right in how they're doing things in order to feel confident in their decision making. So they use us, the internet, to validate themselves. It's very weird.
But whenever you have a good woman by your side, y'all can sometimes jump into that nurturer mode, and you can block what God is trying to do in that man's life by giving him such a soft place to land in a safe space. Basically, some of y'all's love was supposed to be much tougher in your relationship, and because it was so soft and nurturing and comforting, it kept that man comfortable in his BS. So he never changed. And it's, again, not to just blame you, but I'm just going to keep it real. The same way you can maximize everything in a man's life, you can also hinder that man's growth by being too loving, too comfortable for him in a space where he ain't supposed to be comfortable at all. If he drinking and got bad priorities and he ain't trying to go to work and provide for his family, he ain't supposed to come home and fall off into some vagina.
Listen. I told y'all. It all day business out here. So he was not providing for his family. He was drinking. He was on straight BS. This is a mess, y'all. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm really done. Like, I'm really done. I'm so done. Girl, this is where I had to turn it off, because I was like, is he for real right now? Because I'm getting triggered just watching this, because if you've never been manipulated by a man, this is what they do. Somehow you are the one to blame. This man really stood up here and said, you're too much of a good woman. You were so nurturing. You coddled me. Like, what? I told y'all, that's why I'm gonna always be the woman that leaves. I'm never gonna be the woman that stays. I'm always going to be the woman that leaves. I'm never staying with your ass. As soon as you fuck up, I'm out. I am out. Because they keep telling you, like, they keep saying it in weird ways. Like, we only recognize pain. Okay, so I gotta leave your ass. Got it. I'ma leave then. The hell? Why would I stay with you and be miserable? It doesn't even make sense. I'm leaving your ass at the first sign of some stupid. I'm out. Like, that's insane. You don't got to worry about me. I'm going to be out the door.
Every night. Get his D sucked every night. He ain't supposed to come to a home to a hot meal every night. A woman that's pouring from an empty cup. She's not even getting protected and safeguarded in the relationship, but she going to keep showing. He's not supposed to get that. So you have to have discernment with your light and your love.
So she was still sucking his penis. She was still cooking his meals. She was still showing up for him, even though Danae was not showing up for herself. And then if you go back, right, he made that post on Mother's Day, saying even though you didn't show up for yourself, you still showed up for your children. So you can't tell me, you cannot tell me this video is not about Danae. You can't tell me any otherwise. You can't tell me. Remember when he made that Mother's Day post and we like, what kind of Mother's Day post is this? Because his manipulation came out through that post. That's what happened. That's what we all witnessed. Remember?
In action form. And I'm not saying to play this game where it's tit for tat or push and pull or anything like that, but you have to be very discerning. Like, okay, God, am I getting in the way of what you're trying to do in this man's life?
And I'm not trying to play this game that it's tit for tat. Y'all are doing tit for tat. Hell, Stevie Wonder can see it now.
Am I making him comfortable where he's supposed to be so uncomfortable that he taps into a version of himself that's going to be the man that I need from him? And if that's the case, then you got to trust that and you got to move out the way and let God do what he do. But sometimes y'all's love is a crutch and it blocks the discomfort that would drive that man and catapult him into the version of himself that he's supposed to be for you. And then whenever he loses you and he no longer has that crutch, now everything unfolds. Now he blossoms like a flower. Now he becomes that man that you were really looking for, but he needed that pain. He needed the absence of your love.
Girl. Also, ladies, please. I really want you to do the work, like the healing, right? Because when you look into a man's eyes, it really tells you everything that you need to know. Like you will see the lies in his eyes. I don't know how to explain it, but like if you really do the work on yourself, because sometimes we as women, when we get done wrong, we internalize things based off of our insecurities, right? But once you heal those insecurities, you really start to work on yourself, you build yourself up, you work on your self-esteem, your self-confidence and things like that. You don't internalize it based off of your insecurities. You will internalize the treatment or the experience that you went through. You'll internalize it differently and you'll be able to spot the lies in a man's eye. I don't know what it's about, but the eyes tell you everything. And the best way that I can explain it is like men, they can manipulate you with sex. So if you've ever been around a man, he has like those bedroom eyes, like he's trying to sleep with you. Then he has like these other pair of eyes where he's just, hanging around you, y'all just talking or whatever like that. But then you see the bedroom eyes and it's like, you see how his eyes are different. Pay attention to a man's eyes. I'm telling you, they will tell you everything that you need to know. And if you pay attention, if you study Derrick, his eyes switch up a little bit. He manipulates with his eyes as well. So I can only imagine what these girls are dealing with in the bedroom. I can only imagine what they're dealing with in the bedroom because his eyes, they constantly change. And that's how you can really tell, like, he's a manipulator. He knows what he's doing. He's very aware. He's very good at it. So he uses his eyes to charm. He uses his eyes to manipulate. He uses his eyes to get what he wants. Like he uses his eyes to be what? Convincing. So pay attention to a man's eyes because I'm telling you, it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. Every time I'm on these little Facebook groups where these women are outing these men that are either cheating, like these Facebook groups where it's like, girl, is that your man? Or are we dating the same guy? Like those little Facebook groups. And every time a man is getting posted on there, it don't matter what race of man he is. I can already tell he's on bullshit just by looking at his photo. I don't need to know the background story. I don't need to know what he did to the girl. I can tell by just his eyes because it's almost like there's this window. He's not being truthful. He's not walking in his authentic self. Like he has this wall, this, I don't know, like this, it's like this barrier. Like he's putting on this persona. Like that's not who he really is. You can tell with the eyes. I always notice with the eyes. Pay attention to the eyes. And then every time I look at the eyes and I'm like, girl, this man look like he crazy. Then I go to the comment section. I'm like, girl, so this is what he was doing? That's crazy. But I could tell with his eyes, he seemed like he not all the way up in there. You know what I mean? So yeah, pay attention to the eyes, but you got to do the healing because your insecurities are going to create this blockage where you can't see things for what they really are. That's why you have to do the healing, heal your insecurities, work on your insecurities, work on your self-esteem, work on your self-confidence. So then you can see things for what they really are and not internalize them in a way where it's just your insecurities are peeping through and it just blinds you. So you need to work on your insecurities. That's why if you have insecurities and you're not in control of them, you don't need to date. You need to work on yourself some more.
And I know, again, y'all don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to keep it real with you. Sometimes you get with a man and you make him so comfortable in where he's at. That's where all the growth stops. He good. What you need to go to work for? He got a woman that's going to love him no matter what. No, he ain't supposed to have a woman that loves him no matter what in action form. That love's supposed to be earned by him being the best version of himself. And when he stopped pursuing that, honestly, there was supposed to be some love lost in action form. I hate to say this like it's so conditional, but even God's love isn't conditional, but the comfort and the grace is conditional. Even as men, if we get to messing up crazy, God will lift his grace from us and say, all right, I'm going to let you just fall on your face. Since you don't want to learn this lesson the easy way, I'm going to let you learn it the hard and painful way. That'll do it. And you ain't better than God. Another reason why a guy will go from one relationship where he didn't show up the way he was supposed to another relationship is because it's because he put you in survival mode at some point in a relationship. Now, this is for long-term relationships. Something, again, I can relate to. And like the latter years of my marriage, I was this knight in white shining armor, but I wasn't that in the beginning years of my marriage. So by the time I actually got everything together, honestly, my wife was already in survival mode. She was already in protective mode, understandably so. So even the good things that I did were feared. And when there was nothing really going on that was triggering her or bad at all she was doing was looping what I already had done because she was in protective mode. And the same thing happens with, honestly, a lot of relationships. I feel like you with a man for a year or 2 years or 3 years, but in month 6, he did some nonsense. And it triggered you, but you were trying to forgive and let things, rewrite. But now you're in survival mode. You can't receive any good thing that he's doing. You can't receive the good man that he's becoming.
One thing I want to point out, this man said wife. That's why, ladies, you got to sit back. You just got to listen. Listen. When you sit back and listen, you hear things. You do. He said wife. He didn't say ex-wife. He said wife. That's what he said. I think that's interesting because when you're going through a divorce, right, who says wife publicly? That's why you just got to sit back and you really just got to shut up. I tell y'all that all the shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And just listen. You learn a lot. A lot of y'all be like, how do you get stronger intuition? You shut up. You stop talking. Let them talk. He said wife. That's what he said. That's why I would never date a man that's married and separated. No, I'm good. He said wife.
And I'm not even saying it's your fault. And honestly, a lot of men will fold. They'll either fold or give up or just accept that you're not coming out of survival mode if you're not doing your part.
This man has a whole girlfriend. He's still married, but he has a whole girlfriend. Why are you still referring to your wife as your wife when you have a whole girlfriend? Pinky is his girlfriend, y'all. That's why he titled this video, Why He Treats His New Girl Better.
Part. And sometimes, a lot of times, ladies, I'm keep it real with you. You're not doing your part because you didn't prepare to have to do any part to come out of survival mode. You were supposed to be in loving mode, nurturing mode, growth together mode, building an empire mode, but now you're in survival mode. So I'm not even blaming you. But what I am saying is after that relationship ends, He's no longer in proximity to cause you any type of emotional harm. Now you can see him for who he really had became, who he was trying to tell you he was, and he was doing all these right things, but you just could not allow yourself to receive that version of him because the old version of him hurt so bad. And then you see him doing all of these things, but that's really what he was trying to do with you. You just couldn't receive it, or you couldn't believe in it, or you couldn't nurture it and encourage it because you were just so scared still. And honestly, that's just the part of what comes with not doing what you're supposed to be doing from the very beginning. That's what they say, you know, a lot of good women, you don't get the same version of them twice. So it may not be that you did anything wrong, but he brought out the worst in you, and you weren't able to come out of that in enough time for him. So he left the relationship, and now he's taking that learning lesson and that new version of him that honestly you deserve, and he's taking it to another woman. I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's just the truth of it. Now, there's a few more reasons. Let me be very clear. These ain't going to be nice to hear at all. But one more reason why a guy will move from a relationship with you where he wasn't doing his job, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, but take out all that love he was asking for to another woman and treat her so much better is because he's still trying to rewrite that shameful narrative he had from y'all's relationship. So basically,
so that's what he's doing with Pinky, y'all. Because of the shame and the guilt that he feels, he gonna treat her better.
In y'all's relationship, he may have held the identity of a liar, a betrayer, a neglectful guy, a guy who was a bum, a brokey, whatever. But in this new relationship, he has an opportunity to have a clean slate. And instead of like dealing with that shame in therapy, now he's using this woman as a way to flush out that old narrative and rewrite it with something new to himself. He doesn't have peace with how he showed up in that last relationship with you. Now, why he didn't do that in the relationship with you is a whole other story. But the reason why a guy could be motivated in his next relationship is because he went to sleep heavy-hearted, not at peace, because he know how he showed up with you. And in this one, he has an opportunity to re-identify, reestablish his identity with the next woman. And the last reason why, honestly, this happens a lot more than a lot of us men would like to admit.
This is crazy.
But it's because he wants you to feel like you're the problem. He knows that you're watching. He knows that when he was with you, he was with an accountable woman, a woman that was willing to self-reflect, a woman that was.
Y'all can't tell me this ain't sick. This is some sick shit. This is some sick shit, y'all. This is some sick shit. This is some sick shit. You can't tell me this ain't sick. This is sick, y'all. This is sick. That's why we need to ease up on Danae a little bit. Yes, the woman, she's crazy. But let's ease up on her just a little bit, because we see now he is a sociopath. Like imagine dealing with this for like how many years? Because we gotta rewind that. We do.
Problem. He knows that you're watching.
He knows that you're watching. So he knows she gonna watch this video.
He knows that when he was with you, he was with an accountable woman, a woman that was willing to self-reflect, a woman that was willing to look herself in the mirror if she did anything wrong. It was probably what you were showing him on the way out of the relationship, asking him, is there something I can do for you? So now that he's out of the relationship, you finally found the strength to leave him. He's going to try to make you feel like you were the problem. Oh, you watching me? Watch me spoil this next woman. It's all about, it's like a passive aggressive vengeance, so to speak. So unfortunately, the next woman, she's not even the reason why he's doing these things. It's not compelled by his love for her. It's really compelled by his obsession with you and teaching you a lesson. This is why sometimes the best revenge on your end is just moving on and being better, living life, not even giving him that attention. It's his love for her is really compelled by his obsession with you and teaching you a lesson.
Yeah. You know what? Woo! This man is a piece of work. He a piece of work. This is disgusting. I'm gonna wait for this divorce to go through. That's what I'm waiting on. Because he's teaching her a lesson by treating this woman better. I listen. I will never forget how y'all dragged me. I won't. I won't forget how y'all dragged the shit out of me. Y'all dragged me to a field. But I just couldn't shake the feeling, girl. I just couldn't shake it. I couldn't shake the feeling. The feeling of this situation, it was just my spirit. It was just like, it was rejecting it. It was just like, all of this shit just seems like it's bullshit. I don't know. It's like when like, that's another thing that men don't understand about me is my body rejects lies. You know, like it just has this, my spirit takes it in. And when it takes in whatever the man is telling me or person, because I've even had this in friendship too, where somebody's telling me something, I'm receiving the message, my spirit rejects it. Like, no, that's some bullshit. Like, it don't even make sense. Now, why would my spirit do that? Why would my spirit do that? Why is my spirit not wanting to receive this? Why? And I question my spirit because I'm like, why? You know, when it comes to other women being transparent about, you know, things they've gone through, it's like I can receive it. Like, it really does feel authentic. It feels like it's truthful, you know? But this stuff, it's just my spirit been rejecting it since day one. And it's just, and then now that I'm seeing his side of things, I can see why. Like, I can see why it's my spirit has been rejecting this foolishness. It's really disgusting on all ends, all fronts, all of it. All of them, because I feel like they're both manipulative. I feel like they're both lying, you know, and it's just weird to me. I don't know why.
This is why sometimes the best revenge on your end is just moving on and being better, living life, not even giving him that attention. And so you got to kind of use your discernment. But here's the thing. One of the best ways to make sure your attention doesn't go backwards is to have something worthy of your attention in front of you. And I'm not saying distract yourself with a man or distract yourself with anything. Do the work, heal, take that time for yourself, disconnect any soul ties that you had with that person. But an idle mind is the devil's playground. You don't have to wallow in that grief of the last relationship forever. Once you learn your lesson, it's on to getting your blessing. And the way that you get your blessing is to know how to stop the pattern of dealing with the type of guys that you were dealing with that always were learned lessons to begin with. And the only way you're going to do that is to stand out to men who are of equal caliber on the mental and emotional level. An evolved man. If you are an evolved woman, if you've done the work on yourself, if you've actually started to, you know, cut off bad habits, put together good habits, address your own toxicity, you're accountable, you deserve a truly evolved man who's also doing the work, but he's met that threshold where he can meet you where you're at and take you even higher. Now, a lot of y'all don't know how to attract that type of man. You were never taught that. Nobody makes that a conversation up until I did that free masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. So if you haven't yet, and you want access to that masterclass so you can get the stress.
Is he really promoting a class with this shit? Listen, y'all need to leave these scammers alone. Black people, we gotta do better. First of all, not everyone can come in and just sell you something. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you why it's so normal. It started with the church. That's where it started with. It started with the church. And so now anyone that gives us something thought-provoking, we feel the need to buy. And it's like, come on now. Like, I just, come on now. He plugged it in, didn't he? He did. Master class. I'm like, and then she's selling courses too. And I'm not supposed to believe this ain't a scam on both ends. I'm not supposed to believe that this is not a scam on both ends. He's teaching her a lesson. She cashing out. He cashing out. Come on now. That's why I feel like Danae not innocent in this situation, because it's just this situation is weird. My spirit will not receive this crap. I don't even know what it is.
Strategies to make evolved men crave you and pursue you. For free, click the link that you see pinned right here down in the comments. It's also in the caption whenever you back out. I went in on how to not just identify an evolved man, but also to attract multiple evolved men so you can choose the right one for you. But back.
So he's evolved. Danae is healing. He's evolved, but he manipulated her and the new girl in this video. She's healing, but she's competing with the girlfriend on Instagram because he's trying to teach her a lesson. This ain't a scam.
Back to what I was saying, whenever a man takes all of those lessons and love that you were asking him to learn, he was just so dumb in a relationship, but now all of a sudden he gets it the moment that he's not with you, and it feels like you gave him so much of yourself and whatever else, and now he's just taking that, another woman's just benefiting off of that. It don't mean that you did something wrong. He may have learned his lesson. Y'all may have not been right for each other. He may be trying to make you jealous now. It may have been the wrong season. You may have been his crutch, whereas that next woman, she's coming after he ain't have no crutch. She's not his crutch, whatever the case may be. But the best thing that you can do, learn what you got to learn, throw that experience, the rest of that experience away, and prepare yourself for who actually deserves you here and now, who's ready for you now, not who needs to still grow up and become a man, not who still needs to ripen a little bit, but who's ready for you now. Because that man exists. But will you be ready when he presents himself? That's the question. Those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet brother trying to look out. If you got anything of value from this conversation, hit the share button. And if you're in the market for an evolved man, like a man who's actually growing, who's equally yoked with you, and you want the strategies to make one crave you for free, click the link that you see pinned down here by my page, that link right there. Click that link. Get access. It'll jump you over to a webinar where over an hour for free, I went in on strategies to make an evolved man crave you. It's also in the caption or description whenever you back out. If you don't see that comment pinned right there, click that link that you see pinned in the caption up top or down below, wherever you see it.
This question been weighing on me.
Put your all into.
I didn't get this far, but let me see how much he charging for this mess. I gotta register. Oh.
The prospects ain't so bad in the beginning. Then give it a few months, and it turns out the prospect was a little too good to be true. Or the moment that you two started getting close, he started pulling away. Now, if you can relate to either or any of those predicaments, then 9 times out of 10, you have not dated an evolved man. And yes, this training about how to recognize an evolved man and separate him from the rest, and also the traits and the characteristics in a woman that an evolved man cannot resist. Like literally, if you bring these out from your authentic self, it will make him crave you. This training is for you. Now, I've gone through a couple of evolutions myself, but I'm actually going to be teaching from the 9.5 years of traveling across the country, speaking to tens of thousands of people on stage, TV appearances, my 10 published best-selling books in which I've studied thousands and thousands of couples consisting of at least one woman who's all about working on herself, not settling, raising her standards, keeping them high, being single for a while if she had to be. And on the other side of that was an evolved man who recognized her worth, who was there to protect her with her, who was there to push her closer to her purpose. Now, in each of those couples, each of those men, there's a common denominator in what they found most attractive in that woman. Contrary to popular belief of the whole, a good man gonna recognize a good woman. Yeah, he's gonna recognize you. That don't mean that he's gonna crave you. So you have to know exactly what it is about you to pull out and really shine light on in order for that man, that evolved man, to not be able to resist you. And of course, like I said, you have to know how to separate him. How do you know that he's truly who he is instead of just another pretender? Well, we're going to go through all of that on this free training. Again, it is absolutely free. However, this is a disclaimer. The limited seats, you have to make sure that you get in before they're gone. There's only going to be 250. Why? Because I'm only one man. And at the end of my trainings, I like to do a Q&A so I can get to as many people's questions as possible. Of course, this information and stuff that I've charged thousands of dollars to teach us in the past, and I'm giving it to you guys for free. It always sparks a great discussion. It always brings about a lot of questions. So I want to answer as many as possible. So if you want in on this training, again, there's only 250 seats that are available. Go ahead, fill in the information down below. It'll take you 10 seconds. Click and then watch out for your email. That's going to give you the private link to access this training. And I'll see you on the other side. Peace. What's going on, beautiful people?
Do I have to register to see how much this gonna be? It doesn't tell me. Oh, it's free. Okay, he doing a free masterclass. Y'all, I don't know no more. You know, this whole thing, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I can't do it. But I thought y'all should know. Ladies, I just need Black women to understand there's no amount of coaching that you can receive that's going to change what is truly for you. And once you release the control, just allow life to happen. Like, that's the best advice that I could give you. That it really is. Like, I saw the video with Six the Goddess, and everybody's dragging her for that. And my opinion on that is, if something is out of your control, it's out of your control. Like, you can fix yourself up, you can do this and do that to meet all of these standards. And there have been so many women who have done it, and they have gotten cheated on, they have gotten dogged out, they have gotten used. I mean, we got Halle Berry, we have Beyonce, we have Nia Long, you know, all of these women. And if something is truly out of your control, it's just out of your control. Like, there's nothing that you can do about it. You can be fit, you can be in shape, you can be overweight, you can be all of these different things, but it's like, it's out of your control. And you thinking that if you meet these standards that you gain some type of control, but you don't. And I think a lot of women need to hear that. You don't gain any control by meeting standards. And that's the thing. It's like women try to manipulate with that, because it's told to them at a very young age. If you get good grades, you'll get this. If you do this, you'll get this great career. But it's like, all of these things that you're supposed to receive, it's out of your control. So the best thing that I can tell you is just work on yourself, better yourself. You should want to do these things for yourself, because when you do these things, it puts you in a better position to receive things that you want out of life. But it only puts you in a better position. It does not actually give you the things that you want. It just puts you in a better position. That's it. So if you're looking at me like, oh my God, like Yoni is still single, like, yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth, because the only thing I've done is done the work, put myself in a better position. And yes, I'm in a position to receive, but I still haven't gotten it yet. And you want to know why? Because I don't have no control over it. These dating coaches that are trying to sell you this dream, like, oh, if you do this, you do that, the outcome, you're going to receive it. And it's just like, it's delusional. Like, it's delusional, because you can't control a man choosing you. You can try to manipulate, but you can't really control a man choosing you. You can't control getting that house. You can't control getting that car. You can't control getting the man. You can't control getting the wedding. You can't control those things. So a lot of these coaches are going to feed you that false reality so they can get paid that you can. The only thing they can teach you is, I can teach you to put yourself in a better position to receive these things, but you still may not get it. And are you okay with that? Are you okay with it? And I think the only way you're going to be okay with it is when you stop centering these things and you start to center yourself. Because when you center yourself, you make it about you. So I go to the gym for me. I do. I want to see the results. So when the results start to come in, I'm not disappointed, because I'm putting in the work. I'm seeing my body change and things like that. But like the man, I have no control over that man coming into my life. I have no control over that. None. So I don't make it about men. I make it about me. I make it about me seeing the results, because I want to see it. I'm putting in the work. Hell, I mean, why would I want to give all of that to a man? I'm putting in all this damn work. I'm sweating. I'm sore. I'm taking salt baths and ice baths and things like that. I want to see these results for me, not just for a man to indulge in whenever he wants to. Like, what about me? Do I matter? So I want women to understand that, like, yes, you can do all of these great things, but it doesn't mean that these things that are out of your control, you're going to get them. So that's why you shouldn't make that the focus. You should make yourself the focus, because you have 100% control over yourself, but you don't have control over these people, men. You don't have control over all of these external things. You only have control over yourself. That's why you have to center yourself. So all of these dating coaches, they're going to be going out of business soon. I'm telling you, they're going to be going out of business soon, because if we're being real, right? Dating coaches have ruined the dating scene. They have ruined the dating scene, ruined it. Everybody playing games, everybody. Don't matter if it's a man or a woman, everybody playing games. Everybody's manipulating now. Have you noticed that? Like, everybody's trying to manipulate to get what they want. Everyone's trying to manipulate to get a certain outcome. And it has completely ruined the dating scene. So these dating coaches, they're going out of style. I mean, they're going out of style. And it needs to happen, because these games, they need to die. And we need to get back to being authentic. And until we get back to that, the dating scene is going to remain trash. Like, everybody saying it got pee in it. It's dumpster diving. Yeah, because everyone's playing games. Everyone's trying to manipulate to get a certain outcome. And because of that, it has completely ruined the dating scene. We can't even get to know each other from a real place, because everybody's trying to get something out of the next person. With men is sex, with women is money, you know? So it's just like, that's the game. It's just a transaction. And listen, I don't want to partake in it. I don't. So please understand that. And ladies, should Black women work on getting healthy? Of course, you should. You should want to, because of the women that walked before you. A lot of them were unhealthy. You should want to, because you see your mother struggling. You see how she has a hard time moving around now that she's getting older. Right? Like, you should want to do that because you've seen your aunt struggle. You've seen your grandmother struggle. You've seen how they struggle with their health, and they have all of these chronic issues that are reoccurring, that they have to take these medications and these medications, and they have to do this and this. You should want to do it because you don't want to end up like that. You know that that is what's to come for you if you don't change and do something about it. But it shouldn't be about no man, though. A man gonna always disappoint you. It's just the world that we live in. They always gonna disappoint you. You're trying to fit this mold to be this woman. And the number one thing men like is variety. They like variety. They like the tall girl. They like the short girl. They like the petite girl. They like the bigger girl. They like the chocolate girl. They like the white girl. They like the girl with the kinky hair. They like the girl with the locks. They like the girl with the straight hair. They like the white woman. They like the Black woman. They like the Mexican. Men like variety. So you over here trying to beat yourself up to meet this standard, and it's delusional, because men like variety. They keep showing you how much they like variety. Black men particularly have shown you that they like variety. That's just what they like. And you can't take it personally. You can't. All you can do is show up as your authentic self, because then that just is something that they can partake in if they're truly interested in you. But to beat yourself up, that's insane. I seen a big girl get married the other day. She had an extravagant wedding. I mean, it was beautiful. She had the princess gown. She had the bridesmaids. She had the groomsmen, and the wedding was on point. So please don't allow social media to feed you this false reality that big women are not getting married. They are. I'm in shape and I'm single. Like, I think I need to say I'm in shape and I'm single, and there are bigger women out here that are getting married, being loved on in the way that they want. So that's delusional. You want to know why? Because men like variety. That's what they like. That is what they like. And if we're speaking on Black men particularly, they have shown you historically that they like variety. That is just what they like. And I haven't met a man that doesn't. White, Mexican, they just like women. They like the nature of a woman. When they really do like women, though, because, some of them don't like women. We can get into that later, but some of them don't like women at all. But the men that actually like women, they like the nature of a woman. So they like variety. They like how a woman smells. They like her skin. They like women, you know. So it like women are trying to kill themselves to be this and to be that, and it's really delusional. I think men who struggle with their sexuality, they don't like women, or they're very strict about the type of woman that they like. But men who truly just desire a woman, they desire a woman. That's it. So men like variety, ladies. That's the only thing that you need to be concerned about. Men like variety. So where does that place you on the spectrum? It can place you anywhere, depending on where you live. Is that not right? Because in the South, they like they women thick. Up north, they like they women more on the slim side. In LA, slim. South, thick. They like variety. That is what they like. So work on being yourself. That's all I got. Just work on being yourself. Even gay men like us. Yeah, like, listen, men like women. That's it. Are there going to be some men out here that are shallow? Yeah, because of I feel like it's based and rooted in societal pressures. We all have them. They just look differently. So for women, it's our beauty. For men, it's status. So if depending on their social group, they're going to want a woman that's more in shape, that will make him look better to other men. Because it's really about other men. It ain't about you. It's not. It's about other men. You are a trophy, and you will be treated as such. So you're supposed to make him look better. So when you get with a man like that, that's what it's about. That is all it's about, is to make him look better. So it just depends on what type of role you want to play. Every woman has a role to play in society, and it just looks differently for different people. But that's all I have regarding this video. If you don't learn nothing else from this video, Derrick Jaxn is a manipulator. I think if you watch his content now, I think you should study it from a different perspective. Like, okay, let me look at this video to see how he's manipulating. Because then I'll know when I'm out here dealing with the manipulator on the dating scene. Yoni Tribe, I think she should get some grace. And yes, it's going to be hard for us to do that because we can see her darkness. Her spirit is very dark. And hopefully she comes out of it. This woman is not healed. I guess this is part of her healing journey. It's very dark. She seems very mad, bitter, angry. But when you think about healing, that's where it starts. It starts with you being angry, mad, doing stupid stuff like competing with women on social media. Just if you really care about her as a Black woman, just send her some good energies, prayers, whatever, that she is released from this, whatever this is, because this man is a true manipulator. Like an experienced one. Like you could tell he's been doing this for a very long time. So give her some grace in that aspect. But her coming at other women, I'm not going to ever be here for that. I'm sorry. Like when you start to attack other women because your man ain't shit, I'm going to always have a problem with that. Because he the problem, but you not addressing him. You addressing all of these women out here when you should be addressing your man that ain't shit. And then also, remember, ladies, men like variety. So show up as your authentic self, work on yourself, improve yourself for you, because you understand men like variety. So center yourself, make yourself the main character because men like variety. So there's no need for you to feel like you need to meet this or to meet that. You should improve yourself, but you should do it based off of your own desires and not the desires of a man. Because when you do that, you will not be disappointed. So that's all I have regarding this video. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your day.